Relay is a brand new film that you can watch right now about Ash, this underground fixer who helps whistleblowers stay alive, and Sarah Grant, a scientist who finds out that her company's genetically modified wheat has dangerous side effects that they're trying to cover up. Once she attempts to back out, she's hunted by a corporate surveillance team, and Ash has to guide her through burner phones, dead drops, and fake identities just to keep her breathing. It's a tense cat and mouse thriller where truth itself could get them both killed. The biggest thing about this movie, I think, is how much of an espionage thriller the movie feels like. It 100% has that same spy vibe that I used to love watching in different movies throughout my entire life. But it's also technically not a spy film. I think what makes me feel that way is how this character, Ash, protects his identity, the steps that he takes to get stuff done, his multiple rules and contingencies in order to make sure that both he and his clients are well protected and taken care of at the end of the day. Apart from that, he also has this special gadget, right? He uses a relay service to contact literally everybody. He never interacts with anybody personally. He uses a special device for deaf people that calls a relay service, and the relay service calls the clients. He makes sure that the service also doesn't record the calls or keep track of numbers or anything, and everything said between the two of them is confidential. I don't know about how real relay services work or how confidential they truly are, especially with what they end up hearing people talk about on any given occasion. But honestly, I have enough suspension of disbelief while watching to think that this was brilliant. Not just brilliant, but ingenious. I love that about this movie. I love it. I also think that the steps throughout the movie were done relatively well. It feels more or less like a well thought out movie with a web of information to keep track of. The performances by, I suppose, the three leads, Riz Ahmed, Lily James, and Sam Worthington, are all pretty great, all doing a really believable job in their roles. But I have seen the main complaint that people have with this movie, if you can even call it that, and that is that some consider it to be predictable. I, however, didn't run into that problem. I couldn't really guess the twists and turns throughout the movie, nor was I really trying to. I was mostly just sucked into the story itself and watching it unfold because, again, there were a lot of moving parts to keep track of. I haven't seen a lot of movies like this featuring a fixer who protects whistleblowers. That part felt pretty original to me, even though as a whole, the movie and its atmosphere felt like something that I've seen a lot, if that makes any kind of sense whatsoever. One of the most compelling things that this movie did was during the marketing campaign. The trailer for the film has this aesthetic look and sound that was based off of older contemporary conspiracy thrillers from like the 70s. And it's actually really cool because if you go through the comments of the trailer, you'll see a lot of people that dug it so much that they were going to watch the movie primarily because of how unique the trailer ended up being. And honestly, I have to agree. I kind of wanted to know if the movie would also have the same exact vibe. I wouldn't necessarily say that it did, but I guess in certain ways it kind of feels like a 70s spy film. Also, I don't think the trailer actually gave that much information away. It just gave enough intrigue to gain interest, which is exactly what you want from any movie trailer. Most give everything away these days, so that was a nice surprise. While I don't think the movie will ever be big enough to become this huge cult classic or anything, I do think that it's a very entertaining espionage type of movie that most who watch will probably enjoy. It'll have a few twists and turns along the way that may or may not be predictable depending on who you are while watching, but even so, I don't think that these are things that make or break the movie. It doesn't automatically ruin the experience. It's still well made, the performances are still strong, the pacing never really stops, and there's a slight, maybe romantic interest between the two leads here, even though the movie's not even close to being a romance or anything. So my overall end score is actually 79 out of 100 possible stars. That is a B letter grade on my letter scoring rubric. Like I said, it's a well-crafted film that mostly feels pretty original. I wouldn't ever call the thing perfect by any means, and I don't necessarily see it winning any kind of award. But for a movie I didn't even know existed until last night, it's a nice little surprise. We'll just leave it at that. What about you guys though? Have you seen this new film, Relay? Are you a fan of it? Are you not? Leave your thoughts about it in the comment section down below, and as for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit the like, subscribe button, and bell to be notified when I come out with my next review, whenever and whatever it may be on, and until that day comes, peace!
What?